Welcome. This is Artist on Art. I am your host, Nada Milkovich, and I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre artistic director Robert Kelley, who's here to talk about their upcoming yearly celebration, the Nutcracker. Robert, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Nana.
It's a real pleasure to have you on. Would you talk a little bit more, please?
You want me to talk a little more?
Yes. I'm going to have to ask you to use that other.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry about that. Is that better?
Is that better?
Yes. It's wonderful. You have a great voice, Robert Kelley. Robert has been the artistic director at the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre since 1989. Did you come here before or after the earthquake, Robert?
I actually was on Highway 17 the day of the earthquake.
Holy moly. Was it rocking and rolling?
You know, I didn't notice it much. I was in an old Volkswagen Bug. And when I got to the summit, the CHP officer said, Santa Cruz is closed. So
like,
I turned around and I was not actually the artistic director in '89. I started as a guest choreographer and a guest teacher, and then through the years I became associate director and then artistic director.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you are co-artistic director with Diane Cypher?
I am. Diane Cypher and I have been together going on 30 years now. We danced together.
Wow.
Yeah, she was my dancing partner, then we taught together, and then we took on the feat of directing the company.
Wow, so 30 years. She came to Santa Cruz in '89 as well?
No. She came much after I did.
Oh, I see.
She finished up her career with Sacramento Ballet and then retired as a dancer. And then I thought, let's take over the direction of the school and the company from its founding director, Gene Dunphy, who was retiring.
Wonderful. And so were you and Diane together at the Sacramento Ballet?
Correct.
And were you together in San Francisco as well?
No, just Sacramento.
That's where you met?
Yeah.
So Mr. Robert Kelley, who's here, he first you started with the San Francisco Ballet, is that right? And then you went to New York for a little, and then came back
to Sacramento.
And so you've been dancing your whole life.
Since I was 18.
Since you were 18.
Yeah.
You started dancing when you were 18.
I did. It was a late start.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if women could play ballet.
I don't think men nowadays can do it.
I
was really, really lucky.
Wow.
And it's also something I really, really wanted. The minute I saw it, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
So you hadn't seen ballet until you were in your late teens? Or?
I did see ballet when I was a child, and my parents said, not for you, not for our son.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And so you were able to break free of that.
Break free at 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you went and danced.
I did.
Oh my gosh. That's like that one Billy movie.
Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot.
Kind of.
That could be your story.
Right.
Probably not as dramatic with
No.
the Irish. There was all kinds of strikes going on. Anyways.
Right.
What a great story, Robert Kelley. So you were free. You ran off to San Francisco.
I actually first ran off to Washington, D.C. And started training at the Washington School of Ballet.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're here. Lucky us. And you've been here since 1989 and associated with the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre. So this is the 11th performance of the Nutcracker by the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre at the Civic Theatre.
Correct. We have been doing Nutcracker for 20-some-odd years. And then 11 years ago, the board of directors of Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre decided that we needed to have an orchestra and needed to be at the Civic. Not so much at the Civic. The Civic is the only place that would hold our 51-piece orchestra.
Right. So you have I was going to get to that. You guys have a 51-piece orchestra that is hand-chosen by the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre.
Correct.
And I'm assuming it changes maybe from a little bit from year to year? Or?
It does change a little from year to year, but we do have, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but we're going to acknowledge the players that have been with us for all of those 11 years.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
And it's conducted by Pamela Martin.
Correct.
And Pamela's a local conductor?
Pamela lives in Marin.
Marin.
But
close enough.
Yeah, close enough. She's in the neighborhood.
Right.
And she's conducted ballet. She's conducted Ballet West in Utah, Ballet San Jose.
And so how many has she conducted for the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre?
This will be her third year with us.
Her third year. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So you have your conductor, Pamela Martin, and then you have the 51-piece orchestra, which I'm assuming is from local?
It's from all over the Bay Area.
All over Bay Area.
We try really hard to hire local artists.
I see.
But that's a big orchestra to put
together.
It
is. Yeah. It's an amazing, I mean, just to hear a 51-piece orchestra in the Civic is amazing.
And it does rock the Civic.
And this has happened, how many times have you had the orchestra? Well, that's from the beginning.
From the beginning.
The 11 years.
Yeah. And we pretty much transformed the Civic Auditorium.
Yes.
Because we don't use the stage that's there. We build a stage in the middle of the Civic Auditorium that will house enough, big enough for, the 80 people.
Is that okay? There's like a bird tweeting in my ear.
I hear it. I hear it too. And
nice.
I don't know I don't see anything.
I don't either. It's funny. In any case, we'll just have our Tchaikovsky bird in the background. Maybe I'll play a little Tchaikovsky. Why not? Just for fun. Some beautiful Tchaikovsky in the background. I'll just keep it playing. Why not? So I've got Robert Kelley on. If you just tuned in, this is Artist on Art on KZSC Santa Cruz. Robert Kelley is the artistic director at the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre. And we're talking about their upcoming performance, December 19th through 21st. The Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre is presenting the Nutcracker. It will have special guest stars and a 51-piece orchestra, hand-chosen by the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre and conducted by Pamela Martin. Robert, it must have been so exciting to go and into the Civic Theatre and create this, like you were saying before the break. You set the stage in the middle of the Civic Auditorium, and it's not in the round though.
It's not in the round. It's just a smaller shape of the U than normally you would see at the Civic.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many tickets do you have? I mean, or how many people can see it?
5,000.
5,000?
5,000.
Wow.
Over the course of 3 days.
Oh, right. Okay. And you get pretty darn close to selling out, if not selling out.
Correct.
So, folks, if you want to see this year's Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre performance of the Nutcracker, which is going to be fantastic, especially since Robert Kelley's going to have some new choreography in it that he'll be telling us about, please go to their website, scbt.org. And if you need more information, you can email them at info@scbt.org. And you have dancers ranging from the ages of 8 to 20. So they're all pretty young.
Actually, this year it's 5.
You have a 5-year-old?
I have 2 5-year-olds.
Oh, my God.
I know. It could not be any more precious.
Oh, and what are they dancing in?
They're little party girls.
They're little party girls, so they're in the beginning of
They're in the beginning.
Yeah.
We created that last year. We added 8 little party girls. We always had party girls, and then we had little party girls, and now we have teeny party girls.
Teeny. Oh, my gosh. Teeny. I just want to eat them.
Yeah.
Because this, folks, if you're not familiar with the Nutcracker by Tchaikovsky, this is the fantasy holiday ballet. I mean, this is it. This is where a lot of ballet companies really make their bread and butter.
Exactly.
Is the Nutcracker. And the reason it is because it's so magical and it's so wonderful to show your kids and get them to experience live dance with an incredible 51-piece orchestra. It's just tremendous. And the music is so beautiful. Tchaikovsky fantasized, I think. It's a fantasy.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's a fantasy that we like to bring to life every year.
Yeah, and so there are... would you mind just going through a little bit of the plot, kind of? So you have the opening scene where it's all... it's a big party, and the Godfather comes, and he gives out presents to all the kids.
Well, but he also brings 2 life-size dancing dolls.
Oh, that's right.
One of them is a ballerina doll, and one of them is a soldier doll. Kind of wraps the story right. It gets the story going in the first act. So he brings them to life, and then he brings Clara a nutcracker, which I don't know in today's standard would a child want a nutcracker for Christmas.
Sure.
That you would?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you like nuts.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, we're always like looking for the Nutcracker.
Right. And I think back in that time period, that was a treat. Nuts were treats, flowers were treats, oranges were huge treats.
Yeah.
So, I think...
So it takes place in the late 1800s,
Yes.
early 1900s.
Yes.
And so the godfather is this inventor who is also a doll maker.
Correct.
And so then after the party, Clara gets... she wants to see the Nutcracker some more. It's under the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes down to this big tree, and I hear your tree grows.
The tree does grow about 20 feet.
Yes. I don't know how much of this we want to give away, but most people know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all worried. And so Clara falls asleep and then has this incredible dream where there's fighting and a mouse king and a army and the Nutcracker comes to life and many spectacular things. A sugar plum fairy and the big mama with all the kids under...
Mother Ginger.
Mother Ginger and...
Precious kids under her skirt.
And there's two new choreographies that you have introduced. The Arabian coffee.
Correct.
Which is very Arabic.
Yes. Sultry, a little dark.
Yes. A little romantico. And then the Spanish divertissements, excuse me. Which is what part of the...
That's the Spanish... Clara goes to the land of the snow. She sees the Snow Queen and the Snow Queen dance. And then she goes to the land of the sweets. And it's little tiny divertissements or little tiny sections. And one of those is Spanish.
Oh, nice.
So this year I try to change it up every year for the talent that I'm working with, rather than just doing a cookie cutter mold every year and saying, this is what you'll do because this is what somebody did before you. So I had a talented young lady. So I did it to suit her talents.
Wonderful. And who's the talented young lady?
Kelley Yamasaki.
Yamasaki.
Yeah.
Local.
Local girl. They're all local. All the kids are local. It's a county-wide audition. It's not just not just my group. We hold open auditions every September.
Oh, every September, folks. If your little person wants to dance in a ballet, this is the dance. This is their chance. The Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre is presenting the Nutcracker this December 19th through 21st at the Civic Auditorium. And so your classes are at Rodeo Gulch Road, is that correct?
That's where all the rehearsals take place.
So
yes.
The Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre is at 2800 South Rodeo Gulch Road here in SoCal. And it's been around for a long time. It was founded in 1978, and it's a pre-professional company.
Correct.
And so, go on.
A lot of our dancers go on to have professional careers.
Yeah.
This year, we're so fortunate to have Melody Minetti coming back this year. She's a principal dancer with Houston Ballet.
Wow.
Started right here in Santa Cruz. We also have Lauren Winterhalter, local Santa Cruz girl who does principal roles at Sacramento Ballet.
Wonderful.
We have Gabe Williams coming back home to dance the Snow King. He danced with the Trey McIntyre Project and Sacramento Ballet.
Wow. And so you really have almost all local... Or had been local, kind of.
Yeah, they're all alumni or they're local kids.
Oh,
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's really, really important to us to keep it very local, if possible.
Right. So, Robert Kelley, tell us what got you interested in coming to Santa Cruz, and was it the ballet? What came first for you?
I think it's all serendipitous. I came here as a child. And my parents would vacation up on Depot Hill.
Oh, nice.
And I told my mother, I think when I was 10 or 11, I said, I'm going to live here someday.
Oh.
And so, unbeknownst to me, about 20 years later, Jean Dunphy called me. She was the founding director of Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre and asked me to come choreograph a ballet for her. So I came, choreographed the ballet. That was 1989. It wasn't the Santa Cruz that I remember because I came right out. I was on my way the day of the quake.
Oh, my gosh.
And so the course of the time that I was here, it was all the tents were being built up behind Pacific and front. So we didn't go downtown much. I came back again the next year, choreographed another ballet, a little more Santa Cruz feeling. And then I became associate artistic director. And then upon her retirement, she said, "Well, you should take over that. You should take over the reins of the company."
And as the artistic director, you are the company leader?
I am. Diane and I do lead the company. We're supported by an incredible board of directors that govern the financial health of the organization. But artistic decisions are Diane's and mine.
Wonderful. We're going to take a quick little break and listen to some more Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker. We'll be back with Robert Kelley after a few minutes. Thanks for listening, folks. And the bell tolls. I'm here with Robert Kelley. You're listening to Artist on Art. Robert Kelley is the artistic director of the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre. He is co-director with Diane Cypher, and they are producing this year's Nutcracker, an annual celebration for the 11th year in a row now. It will be at the Civic Auditorium. That's December 19th through 21st, 19 to 21st. That's 3 days. 3 days. And tell us at what time, Robert, is the show?
On Friday night, the performance is at 8 o'clock, and then on Saturday, 1 and 4:30, and Sunday the same, 1 and 4:30.
Oh, okay. So you do quite a few.
Yes, 5 on total.
5 total. And many times this event does sell out, so be sure to get your tickets ahead of time if you'd like to go. Go to their website, scbt.org, and there at the website you can buy their tickets. There's a lovely little buy button on the front page.
Right, and that takes you directly to SantaCruzTickets.com.
And this is how long of a show? It's a pretty long show, right?
It's a pretty long show.
2 hours?
2 hours with intermission.
Intermission.
Yeah.
Nice. And the intermission's always really fun. And then do you have anything after for the kids? Do you have like the...
We don't. The intermission, is an exciting time. We have a full boutique selling hundreds of Nutcracker-related items, snowflake ornaments, Nutcracker ornaments, full-fledged tall ornaments, all kinds of wonderful things. And then before the Saturday show at 1 and Sunday show at 1, we have what we call sweet treats, which is parents buy tickets for their children. They come in, they get to meet characters from the Nutcracker, they get to have their picture taken, they get a little Nutcracker toy to take home with them, they get a cookie from Pacific Cookie Company, and then they go in to see the whole show.
Oh, wonderful. Sounds fabulous. I wish I had young kids. My kids are too old, but believe me, the Nutcracker was always the yearly event, my chance to take the kids to the ballet. And with an incredible 51-piece orchestra that's hand-chosen. Tell us about how important this full orchestra is to you. Has it been like this big all along?
It has. One of the stipulations that we had going in was if we were going to present with an orchestra, it had to be a full orchestra. It doesn't sound great if it's not 51 pieces. Excuse me. And for us, it had to be, they're all union orchestra players. And in this day and age, that's a dying thing. There are very few companies that do a Nutcracker with a live symphony orchestra. We are one of 2 regional Dance America companies in the country that perform with a live orchestra. Even companies as big as Ballet San Jose are cutting their orchestra due to cost. I mean, it's a very, very, very expensive ordeal.
And yet it is so integral to the full experience of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker. I believe he had the vision with the music.
Correct.
It was a co-created. It wasn't like he made the music and then the ballet fit on top.
No.
Which is kind of different. I mean...
Yeah. It's that's a lot of the time. That's how Tchaikovsky worked. That's how he worked in when he did Swan Lake. That's how he did when he did many of his full-length ballets. He worked with a choreographer.
So he's, I believe Nijinsky also did that with Delibes for Bolero.
Yeah.
You can really tell the pieces that were co-created with, it's almost the dance is just as important as the music. You can't have one without the other.
Correct. And then George Balanchine came along and did the same thing when he worked with Stravinsky. I mean, there are these great archival video footages and black and whites that show them both at the piano, where Stravinsky's actually playing the piano and Balanchine's telling him what he wants to happen next.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, are you familiar with Tchaikovsky's choreographer?
Petipa, yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about
But a lot of the petit pas stuff is still around. My Nutcracker is very, very traditional. I would say probably a little of the petit pas comes through.
Nice.
But another really cool thing about our Nutcracker is Waltz of the Flowers. Our ballet teacher gave us the rights to San Francisco Ballet's original Waltz of the Flowers, which was choreographed by Willem Christensen. So we still, every year, we restage his original Nutcracker for San Francisco Ballet.
Oh.
And that was the first company in the country to do Nutcracker.
So that's us, folks. We're so blessed here in Santa Cruz. It's just amazing. And so tell me, Robert Kelley, the artistic director of the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre, how does the Nutcracker fit into the overall scope of the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre?
It's certainly the biggest thing we do each year. But we also have our in-concert performances in the spring at Cabrillo's Crocker Theater. This year is really special. We're bringing back Watsonville Taiko in a world premiere, a brand new world premiere ballet by Eva Stone from Seattle. And then we are also doing, I just finished a world premiere with Nancy Levan and Bill Walker, local musicians. So we have live music on the show, brand new world premieres. It's so exciting.
Wonderful. And tell us, how does the Nutcracker impact the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre?
Nutcracker certainly pays our bills for the majority of the year, but it also does some really interesting things downtown. It's always the week before Christmas. You bring 5,000 people downtown the week before Christmas, last-minute shopping, all the eating out. There's not very many events in this town where people get dressed up. So those people have dressed to the nines for this. There's all kinds of beautiful little party dresses on children. Boys wear ties. So I think it financially impacts Santa Cruz as well.
Right, in a very positive way.
In a very positive way, yes.
And you've been doing it 11 years successfully. It's been
11 years at the Civic. And we were at Cabrillo's old theater before that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And so let's see. You've been doing the Nutcracker since
78.
78.
Yeah. I haven't. Not here.
Right. But that's 40 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Going on.
Yeah.
A couple more years, it'll be the 40th year.
Yeah. Exciting times.
It is.
Yeah.
How many other institutions are that old? Art institutions that, it's a really amazing feat with...
It is an amazing feat. It is. But Santa Cruz has got a lot of long-time establishments. You look at the Art League. I think Art League is going on the 100th year.
Wow, right. The Art League, and then you have the Cabrillo Music Festival.
Right.
We do have our festivals, but it's just amazing to me for such a little town, for us to be able to... really transcend ourselves in some ways, to have this incredible event that allows us to get dressed up and go out, and a 51-piece orchestra. It's just...
It's incredible.
Yeah. How tremendous. If you'd like to go, or you want more information, please visit the SCBT, that's the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre.org, scbt.org. There you'll see also the buy your tickets now. If you want, you can call them if you have more information, if you have more questions, at 831-477-1606. You can also send them an email at info@scbt.org. Robert Kelley is the artistic director and has been for quite a few years now.
Yes. My association started, like you said, in 78.
78, but you've been...
89.
89, but you've been the artistic director for
15 years now?
15 years.
Yeah.
15 years. And has Diane Cypher been with you during...
Diane's been here 12.
12 years.
Yeah.
That's right. And she's your co-creator, dance partner.
Yep.
Do you guys get to dance?
Oh, good Lord, no.
No.
I danced at her wedding.
You danced at her wedding, of course. That's mandatory.
Right, exactly.
So you had your succchoreography career as a dancer.
Both Diane and I did, yes.
As solo dancer, soloists, and what a wonderful thing to come together and be able to be choreographers and co-directors.
It is. It's wonderful. It's kind of like it couldn't be any better. We've known each other since we were kids.
Oh, wonderful. Speaking of kids, you're going to have quite a few kids at the Santa Cruz Ballet.
70 kids.
70 kids?
70 kids.
Robert Kelley.
I know.
And you were mentioning the two youngest, 5.
4. I think, no, 5. They're
five.
5.
They're 5.
Yeah.
5 to 20.
5 to 18. No, 20. 5 to 20.
And the older ones are alums that are coming in?
Yes, they're all alums. They're all, everybody, it's all local or were local kids.
70 kids.
Yeah.
That's where do you guys practice? At your Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre?
At the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre.
Which is on Rodeo Gulch Road.
Yep.
It must be a big space, or you take...
it is a big space. It's the old Santa Cruz Mushroom Factory. And
wow.
Yeah, we went there after the quake in '89. It was the only place that we could find, 10,000 square feet of danceable space.
Well, so was it originally downtown?
It was downtown. It was the Oddfellows Hall, where Rosie McCann's is now.
And it had quite a bit of damage during the earthquake.
It was completely tore down.
Yeah,
we got to go back inside one time to get all the financial records.
That's it. Yeah, I've actually heard stories about a teacher with a ballet teacher with a bunch of little kids and a wall crashing and very dramatic.
It was really scary.
Yeah, but nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. The stairs
it was a miracle.
I know. The stairs were like the funhouse stairs going down the stairs.
Oh.
We don't do that again. Not necessary.
Right. Well, you're here now, Robert.
Yeah.
It was waiting for you. So there you go, folks. Please come out and see this wonderful, tremendous tradition, the Nutcracker, with special guests, our alum, and at the Civic Auditorium, December 19th through the 21st. We're going to listen to a little more Tchaikovsky. So this is the music you'd be listening to after the intermission, after looking at all the wonderful ornaments at the Civic Auditorium. We're listening to Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, and I'm here with Robert Kelley. Such a pleasure, Robert. Tell us about how difficult, well, you don't have to tell us about it. We know that the arts are enormously underfunded. And particularly all of the art forms actually are very difficult. Dance may be even more of a challenge. I don't know. How can people help continue supporting children learning how to dance?
Well, it is difficult. It's always been difficult, and more nonprofits are having trouble scraping together enough money to get by. We are so lucky to have the sponsors that we have. Like Arts Council of Santa Cruz is a huge sponsor of ours. Community Foundation of Santa Cruz County. And this year we have a couple of new ones. We've teamed up with Dream In. Dream In is hosting all of our guest artists for the whole weekend that they're here. So thank you, Dream In, if you're listening. Also, Santa Cruz Warriors came on as a sponsor this year.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Santa Cruz Sentinel, Good Times. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that really believe that what we do is the right thing. Google jumped on board. Adobe Foundation jumped on board. We've got incredible media sponsors. People as far away as Monterey Peninsula Youth Foundation. So, there is support, and I think we're lucky in the fact that we get to present something like Nutcracker. It is a tradition, and in these changing times that we're living in, there's not a whole lot of tradition where you can take your family, get dressed up, make it a tradition, make it downtown, and make it local.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I mean, you'd have to drive to San Francisco and you wouldn't even be able to go to San Jose to hear the orchestra.
No.
You'd have to literally drive
to San Francisco
to get the full impact of Tchaikovsky's incredible, fantastical Nutcracker.
Correct.
So the sponsorship is relatively the newcomers, some of these, right?
Some of them, the newer partners like the Warriors and Dream In are new partners, but Sentinel has been behind us from day one. Good Times has been with us from day one.
Wow.
The city of Santa Cruz is really, really outrageously good to us.
That's wonderful. And would you say that's why you're able to bring a 51-piece orchestra?
Oh, absolutely. Without the support of our major funders, we would never. I mean, it's an outrageous amount of money, but worth every penny.
Yes, most certainly.
Yeah.
David Kelley, Robert Kelley. David Kelley is the TV producer.
Right.
Robert Kelley. Robert Kelley is our own choreographer here and co-artistic director at the Santa Cruz Ballet Theatre over on Rodeo Gulch. It's been around. It's been in the old mushroom factory since 1989. And we are so lucky for it. If you have any more information that you need, please go to scbt.org, and you can send an email at info@scbt.org. If you have a little wee one who dreams of being on the stage in a ballet performance, the tryouts are in September, you say, Robert?
Correct, yes.
And many, well, you say all of the performers are local and alum. That we're
except for Melody's partner from Houston. She's bringing a partner. And Lauren Winterhalter is bringing her partner from Sacramento.
So there are a few guests as well. Yes. And then the 51 hand-chosen piece orchestra is conducted by Pamela Martin. And it's a real treat and opportunity for the whole family to get dressed up and go out and do a little culture.
Very true.
Thank you again, Robert Kelley, for coming on.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Everybody, go out and get your tickets right now.